The family of Olorato Mongale says they're relieved that justice in some ways has been served for the 30-year-old even before she's buried. This follows the death of the main suspect in this case, that's Philangenkosi Makhanya, who was killed in a shootout with police earlier today in Amanzimtoti, that's in the south of Durban. Olorato will be buried in Bloemfontein this weekend. SABC News Reporter Ishmael Modiba is with the family and joins us now live from Bloemfontein in the Free State. And Ishmael, I suppose it is also a bit of a bittersweet moment, right? The suspect has been found and is now dead, but I imagine this still leaves so many questions unanswered.
Indeed, Ayanda, a very poignant, moment for the Mongale family. I mean, as the family, as they are mourning, they were hoping that maybe, things would have turned differently, where the suspect would be arrested, when the processes of court will unfold, where he will be questioned and, ask difficult questions to find out exactly what transpired with him and other, accused or suspects. But unfortunately, we know that the suspect was allegedly retaliated to the police, and he was cornered and was fatally shot. But to get the reaction from the family, we've got Olorato Mongale, who is the cousin to Olorato Mongale, just to give us a sense of reaction from the family as to the latest development. Olorato.
Yes, sir.
As a family, I heard you yesterday when you were speaking there, very emotional about what transpired, and you asked very difficult questions. But before we can get into that question, can we get into the response as a family with regard to what transpired in the early hours of this morning?
Oh yes, we got the message early hours of this morning that one of the suspects, or rather the main suspect, was apprehended and subsequently got into a firefight with General Mkhonya's men. Look, as a family, that is not the outcome we would have liked, but we understand that the general's men, if you're going to pull a firearm out at the police, you will be met with direct action. It wasn't the outcome we would have liked as a family, because we would have liked to see the man that took our heart from us, and we would have liked to for him to have his day in court, basically. We really wanted to see who this guy is and really look him in the eyes and see, really what was going on, the answers. Yes, we probably weren't going to get the answers we were looking for. That's okay. But we would have gotten some sort of answers. Yeah.
A kind of a relief that you were looking for, but it happened the other way around. Yeah. Yesterday, while at the memorial, you asked a lot of questions with less answers as to why God?
Yeah.
Why that kind of a question?
Well, it really shook my faith. Actually, that's an understatement. It took my faith from me, because my cousin was such a worshipper. She's avid in churches. She's been going to CLC since she was young. I was taking her to that. Even in Joburg, she's in church. She's really a church girl, and she loves to sing about God. So my real question there, and it came from an emotional place, is, why? I couldn't understand. And me saying why her is not saying it should have been somebody else's child. No, that's not what I'm saying. All I was asking here is, someone, an avid worshiper like herself, that believed in God with all she is this the way God would take her? That's really all it is. And that's me, let's not spread it to my family. That's just my beliefs and how this shook me to my core. So, yeah.
And Mama Popi and Tate Don, the parents to Olorato,
that's correct.
How are they taking this latest information?
I think you can imagine. Mama, you call her Poppy, but for me, Mama, it's hard on her. It's hard on her. Seeing her only daughter, her only child. What are the words for this, man? I'm at a loss for words. Butchered like that, she absolutely didn't deserve that. Absolutely not. So her mother is going through the absolute most. We cannot fathom. Me and you sitting here, we can't. We can't even get ourselves onto that level of thinking how Poppy feels right now. And I know Don is also hurt completely, just like me and my mother too, I mean, it's been hard on the family, and my gran is really suffering as well inside. Yeah.
Muteo, condolences to you and the family, and I know that the rest of South Africa is watching and are with you in thoughts and prayers.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, Ayanda, that's what we had for you for now, and a very, very, emotional and touching moment. The members of the family are all here trying to prepare for the funeral, and I can say that, it's still a shock to them as to what's transpired. But I guess this is kind of, life that we experience in some parts of this country, but that's the situation as it is. The family is now preparing to lay off their lovely Olorato on Sunday here in Bloemfontein.
Right, Ishmael Modiba, live to us there from Bloemfontein. Thanks very much indeed. And before I let you go, Ishmael, if you are still able to hear us, I heard Mateo speaking about how Olorato was butchered, a really difficult descriptor to take in. Has the family said anything about the manner in which Olorato might have been killed? Because a lot of that details hasn't necessarily been forthcoming yet.
Well, Ayanda, that has not necessarily been forthcoming. But yesterday, when I spoke to the mother, Mama Popi Mongale, she gave a little bit of a description. She didn't go into detail as to the body of Olorato, how it was, but she said those described the guys as savages, the way in which they dealt with her daughter, the way in which she saw the body of Olorato. It was not in a good state, but she did not go into details. I guess it's just too much for her. It was just too much for her to get into those details.